Welcome to The Experience Today, where we explore the fascinating intersections of psychology, the human experience, and American politics.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Experience Today. I am your host, one of them, Mr. Roderick Threets, and as always, on Tuesdays, I gotta have my sister from another Mister and trusted sidekick, as always, with that South Florida flair. Miss Valerie Zen, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. It's hotter than hell here, though.
Hotter than hell? How hot does hell get?
Is there any air where you are? There's no air here.
There's plenty of air blowing off of the Gulf of America.
Maybe I got to move towards the Gulf because the Atlantic Ocean is not breathing anymore. It's just you walk outside and it's like there's nothing.
But we're getting, you know what's crazy though? We're getting all of our afternoon thunderstorms are coming basically across the state from New Smyrna, literally. We're not getting anything off the Gulf right now. Everything, because last couple weeks we've been getting things coming up, rolling off the Gulf, etc. All of our evening thunderstorms are coming, literally tracking from New Smyrna Beach. And it's crazy. It's like you coming Atlantic to Gulf, like, is this what we're doing now?
Oh, just wait. I just know we're going to get slammed with a hurricane this summer. I feel it in my bump. Yeah, it's just even though we had all that rain for a while and they said, like trillions of gallons went into Lake Okeechobee, we're still like 5 feet low. I mean, that's as tall as I am. That's a lot of water.
We're up here in Citrus, between Citrus County, Hernando County, Sumter, and Levy County here on the Nature Coast. We are on average 11 feet below water table.
See? And you get more rain. You tend to get more rain than we do here. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's going on except that we're going to get a hurricane because this is how Mother Nature operates.
Yes, she does.
Yeah. It's the balance, the Mother Nature balance.
Yeah. We can handle anything up to a cat 3. Cat 3, we're cool. We can stay home. We can have our parties, all that. We can, we might not have power for about 4 days, right? 10 days. Well, 5 days, right? But anything more than that, no, we gotta leave. We gotta leave.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're gonna have like, a 5 or a 6, something really. Yeah. I do.
God, wouldn't it be crazy to have back to back? Well, it's not that we didn't have any really last year, but to have like the next active season have another 5 like Milton. That would be crazy.
That 5 was Wilma. Then there was 3 and 4 that came back to back.
Well, Milton was a 5. Milton was a 5 when he made landfall.
Oh, Milton, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was your east. That was your West Coast. Yeah.
That West Coast that went right across through the south end of Palm Beach to Wellington and spawned all those tornadoes. Yep.
The tornadoes, yeah, that was
crazy.
Who knows what they're going to do to us? They're putting the oil. They're building pipes underground for the oil fields in Iran, so they don't need the Strait of Hormuz anymore. I mean, gee, maybe we could call Putin to come on in and blow up something underwater. I mean,
see, look, we don't need that, right? Because those Floridians,
we don't need it,
right? Those us Floridians, right, and those that are really up on our history. There was a point in time where they actually dug out the a cross barge causeway that went through Lake Okeechobee down to Caloosahatchee and was going to come up on the other side of Cape Coral. Literally just cross the state. You didn't have to go around the bottom. You come right across the state, right through Palm Beach, right through the inlet.
And what happened with that idea?
The government, the state of Florida shut it down because it became quote unquote too costly. So like you'll see like when you're going up 95, now you go up 95 north from your
Yeah.
house and you cross
You
that
got to go
one
in a circle.
right,
Yep.
and you cross that one big canal on 95.
Mm-hmm.
That canal was part of that cross barge causeway that they were building. That was supposed to go all the way across through the top of Okeechobee, out through Clewiston, and all the way straight out through LaBelle. That's what that was for. And then they turned it into a retention canal. Air quotes. I can't see my air quotes. But yeah, that would have been like the best thing ever. They could have finished that project because you wouldn't have all these barges having to go around the bottom through the Keys. Right? Just go right,
You know,
right through the middle of the state.
it sounds like something Newsom would do in California, doesn't it?
You're right. The train.
Yeah, the train to nowhere.
What
We
train?
need to raise your taxes. We have to finish this goddamn train already.
Right.
Yeah. But hey, he's going to run for president, and let's face it, between Kamala, Newsom, AOC, and who I'm missing? Missing somebody. But there's four winners. Buttigieg.
Oh,
That
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Buttigieg, yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it's going to be pretty easy to beat these losers. I mean, really.
I
Do you
mean,
have any? Maybe we can get Syed to run for president or Zoran. Hey, now we're talking, right?
I mean, look. I mean, at this rate, I mean.
At this rate, we're just a shot away.
But I look. I've been hearing some good news out of New York though. When it's coming to these candidates that got onto the ballot. There's a lot of Democrats, even the ones you wouldn't think would likely, are not going to vote for these people. They're going to quote unquote bite the bullet and vote Republicans. It's not biting the bullet. Like, they don't align with you, then why are you voting for them if they don't align with you? Like,
Not only that, it's really an issue of, if you want to save the United States of America, you must vote Republican.
right.
End of story. There is not even a close alternative.
No.
It's just, yeah. Listen, have you been watching the fight in the state of Florida for the governorship?
Uh-huh.
I've been actually scolding people, which I don't usually do on social media, but I've been like, guys, do you hear yourselves? You are doing to every single candidate running for governor in the state of Florida what you watch them do to Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
It's character assassination. It's tearing everybody's, guts out, literally. This one did that, that one did that. I said, I would like to know what any of you did 26 years ago.
Right.
Throw me a stone.
Right. Pull a what's it called? What's her name? Christine Blasey Ford. Pull a Blasey Ford on him. Yeah, I need to pull up everything.
Exactly. Give me the Pete Hegseth.
Right?
Who didn't they do this to? It's crazy shit. I mean,
how you say,
really.
How you say, don't get Kavanaugh?
Don't get Kavanaugh. And don't be AOC'd. Okay.
Right, AOC.
So,
oh, geez.
Yeah,
okay.
So this this song the other night, Saturday night, Pete Santilli, I mean, his show is just a gas on Rumble. And he's doing these like dance parties on Saturday night. If anybody wants to just get down and have fun, Saturday night live, Pete Santilli at 10 o'clock, it's hilarious. So I put on the show and they're playing Mick Jagger.
Okay.
Gimme Shelter. It's just a shot away. And I'm like, I remember this song. And yeah, it's great to dance to. I never thought much about the lyrics. I'm going to go look at these lyrics because it sounds really interesting. War. It's just a shot away. And I'm like, oh, this has a whole new meaning from the Vietnam War, except that we had World War I was a shot, right? They shot the Archbishop in Austria, and boom, we were in World War I. And in World War II, they
Right.
blew up the Philippines, and that was their bigger shot. And the Vietnam War, I'm not sure if it started with a shot, but and World War II didn't exactly start with a shot. It was 2 years of like what we're going through. The revolution, the American Revolution, I would imagine that started with a shot.
Yes, the shot heard around the world, right?
Right. But you know, here we are. Everybody's so on edge right now. I mean, we're ready. We're locked and loaded. We're like ready to like be over the top in a heartbeat. It's so intense what those of us who are awake are feeling on a regular basis right now. It's scary. It's scary. You know, a lot of people don't want to hear it. I get it. I don't want to hear it either, but it is what it is.
Right.
You could not.
So we have to. So you bring up a point, right? When we're talking about Vietnam, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this, right? We have to remember, right? During World War II, Japan took control of French Indonesia, which is now Vietnam, right? Which,
Right.
with the effect of that was the what was the guy named? They named the city after him, Ho Chi Minh.
Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah, Ho Chi Minh, right, the communist leader, formed the what was it called? The Viet Minh. He formed the Viet Minh, right, and that was their fight for independence from Japan, France, whatever, right? It's all come. I'm not getting into the whole historical context, right? But then when that ended in 54, right? Then you had the Geneva Accord, all that good stuff going on, and then that's when the shit started going downhill because the North started attacking the South because the South was supported by the United States.
Right.
Right, and that was what was the guy's name in South Vietnam? I know I'm on it. It's gonna kill me. Ingo Ding Diem, I think his name was. Yeah, that's a funny name. I remember because he was anti-Khmer Rouge, right? So all that was going on kind of at the same time, right? So again, I'm sorry to be a walking encyclopedia, but I'm kind of partially there, but part of there, but yeah, whatever. But we was in Saigon. U.S. was in Saigon, and then the North came down and attacked the South, right? Outside of the 54 Geneva Accords. Then that's how we got into Vietnam. We weren't just, Vietnam, they're fighting. We're going to go here. No, we were already in Saigon before that even broke out.
We're going to save them. Right. Yeah. I haven't done that much studying on it, but yeah. So now we've got, and this is an interesting thing that's going on around the world now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in South Korea, they elected a communist. Or they didn't elect a communist, excuse me. He was put there by the forces that be, the people stealing elections. Now, I've always thought the hub and the heart of the election stealing was, well, I guess I thought it was Venezuela and Cuba, and they were all part of it. But then I thought, Serbia. And now what I am recently discovering is it's Tehran. Now, there's two things that Trump was elected for and that he wanted to accomplish in this presidency. He probably wanted to accomplish it the first time, but he's here now. He wants free and fair elections and honest money. Those are the two things. Those are his commitments to the United States. Well, you know, we're unfortunately having to listen to all these hysterical people and podcasters and TV personalities about we're in a war and look what he's doing and when is this going to end and oh my God. If you take into consideration the fact that Tehran is the actual hub of election thievery, it's where the biggest part of the scam is. I wonder why he would be doing what he's doing in Iran right now. And it's not a war. It is a military operation. If people could only get that through their heads, we would have a different existence right now. I really would love to read his yesterday. I think he wrote this yesterday on Truth Social. But it so spells out what's going on there, what he's dealing with, and how amazing his chess game is. So I'm just going to read this for the people that are not on Truth Social or haven't seen it. He says, I see that representatives of the Islamic Republic of Iran are asking for compensation for the damage done to them during the last 5 months military conflict. Started because they will not have a nuclear weapon, even though it was never mentioned in any of our negotiations or meetings. But it is an interesting idea because now I am likewise demanding compensation from Iran for all the people that they have killed and gravely wounded with their roadside bombs and many conflicts for which they are famous, as led initially by General Soleimani, including the families of those killed on the USS Cole and thousands of others killed in combat. Additionally, compensation should be paid to the families of the hundreds of thousands of innocent protesters that Iran has killed over the last 50 years, not to mention the 52,000 that have been killed in the last 5 months. I have instructed my representatives to put this firmly into any and all future negotiations. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald Trump. He's just saying, oh, you want us to compensate you? Gee, that's a really good idea. I'm thinking I'm going to ask you for the same frickin' thing. I mean, what other president could have ever written this and stood up to them like this?
I mean,
right? It's pretty intense.
But you know what? Even with that, stop there a second, right? Because we have to go back. We again. I like my brain goes back there, and I'm trying to stay in present tense, but I can't help but think about, right, the color revolutions, right? And what did those color revolutions involve? It involved elections, right?
Right.
And it also involved with people, for example, remember the one election in Afghanistan? If you voted, your thumb was purple. Right.
Yeah.
To see who had or had not voted, and they still scammed that election for Hamid Karzai. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that road either. But the United States, right? As the government, right? Not the people. I don't want people to make that mistake, right? But the United States has been testing the way elections are stolen. Right? And planting certain things. It's the whole thumb thing, right? Same thing happened in Pakistan, right? We installed, what's his name? Imran Khan, right? The cricketer from Pakistan. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Imran Khan didn't follow the commands of America, air quotes. So their parliament filed a no confidence vote. And now I think he's on like house arrest now, right? After he was put in jail. After being a prime minister, right? So it's just and I don't.
Bolsonaro's in jail. South Korea's in jail.
Right.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are all these experiments that they're doing, and then they turned around and took the results of all of those elections, right?
Yep.
And we can say it out loud now because we all know how it looked like, right? And we're gonna say what it is. That is how they ripped the American people off on the election in 2020. Although If you go back and look at those tactics that they did, you're like, damn, son of a bitch. They literally took it from underneath us. Oh, no, they didn't. That happens like this. No. We seen the tactics. We saw them. We seen, as I like to say, Ms. Val, what's my favorite word? I synced them. I synced it. And you're going to tell me.
I thunk it.
Yeah.
Listen, we have a whole new thing going on now, and this really excites me because, and I mean in a good way, I've been listening to FBI, military, all kinds of weird stuff. That's why I'm up till 2 in the morning, because I love it. So this military operation is about what a lot of people are not familiar with. It's called the AWEB, and I'm sure you are.
Yes.
AWEB. Yes. It's full of stealing our data, and our data is going into the elections. It's recently come out that the CCP in China have actually stolen our registered elections by the hundreds of thousands. Yes, they own us. They own us in terms of the stealing of elections. End of story. So we have to look at our internet, which is like non-functioning. It's like a Swiss cheese. It's just holes in it everywhere. Our internet is going down, and it's going to go down with these data centers and everything that's sort of like in this muddy mess right now. But what is happening is we already have post-quantum encryption for the Department of War.
Right.
That's how we took down, yes. You know, that's how we took down Venezuela so successfully, and that's how we've been bombing these military operations in Iran successfully. This quantum technology, the ability to have inscription, it's going to be in all of our hands really soon. It's being beta tested right now. And if anybody wants to actually get one to put on their TV, QUX.TV. It's in beta testing. It's like $250. Pete Santilli has invented it with some of his, he's FBI. I don't know if anybody knows who he is, but he's trained a lot of the FBI people. He's a mastermind on so many levels. You wouldn't know it listening to his podcast, but he is. And so through his store, he's selling these beta units right now, and it looks like the size of a cell phone. Plug it into the back of your TV. You get free everything. It's, I guess, like the days of the old satellite dishes where you just put it up and you got free HBO and free, yeah. So right now it's all free, and nobody knows what you're watching. Nobody knows what you're saying. And the next thing coming out is those Wi-Fi routers that China owns us. They're making all the Wi-Fi routers. They're poisoning us in our food. They're creating all our medications. I mean, those guys are really smart. You got to give it to them. And we're really stupid. This country has been taking stupid pills from Big Pharma for the past goddamn 50 years. So, you know, we have a lot to look forward to in terms of being able to step out of, yeah.
So I want to go back to something, right? Well, I want you to finish what you were saying, right? But I want to go back to the AWEB thing, right? Because I don't think people know, and I'm sure particular people here that listen to us don't know what AWEB is, right? So briefly, right? AWEB, right, is the actual, the full acronym name is the Association. Remember, the Association of World Election Bodies, right? Now watch this. Watch this. There's there's at least 100 or so, right, election bodies or surrogates, right, that are members of this AWEB, right?
Yes.
Now watch this. Even though United States is not a member body, or the U.S. Elections Assistant Commission is not a body, guess who was under a MOU or a Memorandum of Understanding?
Oh, probably Obama.
USAID.
No.
USAID.
Oh, USA. Well, close enough, right?
Right. but note the connection to that, right? USAID what found, right? Remember, they found that they were funding elections in other countries through NGOs.
71. Right. 71 countries ripped off.
Yes. So this, I'm not going to say no more about it, but y'all go
Thank
look
God
up.
We have Elon. You know, Elon knows this. Elon knows this.
So that's why I suggest everybody is listening to us right now. Take notes. Write down A, dash web, a web, and look up USAID and see the connection and the connection to the elections in those 71 other countries they sent money through the NGOs through, right?
That's right.
I knew this was a thing. I kind of touched on it back in 2020. I was like, there's something fishy here going on, right? Even though the United States is not a full member, but again, through an MOU, USAID, I think it's USAID, it was one organization, and it was on, what was it? The, what is it? Damn it. The IFES was another organization, and the NDI and the IRI are part of the AWEB, the Association for a World Election. Yeah, it's crazy work.
It's intense.
Yeah.
It's very intense. And you've gotta watch Donald Trump and all the forces working with him. And what he says on television, some of it is to just create havoc, which he does a very good job of. Because if you watch the general media, like Steve Bannon puts it on in the morning, the clips from MS Now and from he puts it all on, and you just sit there and it's like, you gotta be kidding. He's fooling these people. Yeah. He's slamming the media right now, and that's the whole other side of this. The Fauci thing, the media, the Democrat Party, it's all encompassed into this one operation that's going on right now, and it's actually going very well. If you step outside of the noise and really look at it, it's quite masterful. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be a red flag and there's not going to be, in fact, I think there is going to be. I think we're going to have some scary shit go down.
Agreed.
To put it bluntly.
Agreed.
Yeah, there's going to be red flags. There's going to be, listen, these people are going to get desperate. And I don't even think it's going to be the Democrat Party. I think they're gone. I think they've been eaten up by the Islamic terrorist, socialist Democrats of somewhere,
oh my God.
not America.
Right? That whole ball of wax is just, I can't pick which ism or phobia or ist I want to attach to it, because all of them apply.
Wow.
They all apply, and it's like, God have mercy.
They all apply. Well, listen. This is something that I was putting together in my head before we did the show. I was reading today about American frontline doctors. They actually sent this email today. And you and I have talked about this, like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. We've been doing this a long time. Yeah. But the Amish are once again in big trouble. And I remember us having quite an interesting conversation about the Amish related to the vaccines and what was going on with Fauci and the Fauci and the maniacs. And I'm going to read some of this stuff, but what I want people to think about when I'm reading this is, if all of this can happen to the Amish people, why can't we turn the tables on these Islamic communities? It's really the same thing. So I'm going to read some of this, and then we're going to go back to this question. So for 300 years, our government has made it impossible for the Amish people to live according to their faith. They've packed up, sold their farms, and moved somewhere where they'd be left alone. You know, they do their own thing. New York's school vaccine law is forcing them toward the same terrible choice: violate their faith or abandon their homes and communities they have built. Miller versus McDonald, you probably know that stuff better than I do because you follow all this. Amish families challenged a 2019 New York law that eliminated religious exemptions from school vaccine mandates. Their private schools, built on Amish land and funded entirely by their communities, refused to enforce the mandate. The state responded by imposing more than $118,000 in fines on a peaceful religious community for refusing to violate its faith. These families are not asking for public money or special treatment. They are asking to educate their own children on their own land according to their faith. What's good for the goose, this is my words now, what's good for the goose is good for the epic city, no Sharia. And by the way, we're paying for all of their schools and their subsidizing whatever they're doing. They're taking our tax money to do that shit. And I see the exact same thing going on, and I think we should fight fire with fire. I think that Zoran, you have to abandon your beliefs or you have to leave New York. We don't want it. Zayad, Ilmar, we don't want the bending down in the street with your ass up at the sky. We don't want to hear your prayers in the morning. You're waking us up. We want to eat bacon. We want a free country. This country is built on a constitution that we function under. No, we do not function under your Sharia law. Well, the Amish are not taking anybody's money. They just want to live and do their own thing quietly and not inflict any of their beliefs on anyone. So, gee, it would seem to me pretty obvious that we should be able to get the Supreme Court to say, well, you know what? You Sharia law enthusiasts, if you don't want to live under our Constitution, you better find someplace else to go and do it now. Now, running them out is a much more barbaric, I would say, situation than it would be. The Amish are very peaceful and easygoing people. They just want to live, much like the Jewish population has always wanted to just live. Why is it we can't stand up? Trump is standing up to them. Why can't we stand up to this Sharia law being imposed heavily in Texas, heavily in Muslim Soda, heavily in Michigan, New York? What's happening right now is not good. When are we going to get the balls to stand up to them and say, no, but really no? See this rifle? The answer is no. You want to visit 17 virgins? I'll help you. I'll help you out, buddy. The answer is no. I don't think enough people realize what's happening. They just don't. You know,
they don't. And it's the old classic thing I'm about to say is, if you don't learn history, you're bound to repeat it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what they've done. Yeah. They've whitewashed the history books, right? And we're literally sitting here, right? Like, I posted, for example, a video the other day on TikTok, right? And it was about, the settlement in northern Gaza called Al Abid, mm-hmm. right? And how we have these people, like here's what's ironic, right? Even to what you're saying, and I'm going there. Okay. You have people, and everybody's heard them on their social medias. Free Palestine, all that bullshit, right? And then put watermelons in their profiles to quote unquote support Palestinian people. Now, again, in America, we know that the watermelon, right, is a racist trope. We know where that comes from, right? And again, people, I'm not trying to revive it, but I want to make a point, right? These same brown people and some lightly melanated people with the watermelons in their profile didn't know that black Palestinians are placed in a town called Al-Abid, which means slave, and they're traded in and out of that town, if not sold in and out of that town.
They're very good at slavery. They're very good at it.
Like, how do you sit here and throw the watermelon trope on your profile? Like, I'm proud to support Palestine, and the same Palestinians like Hamas are enslaving your black ass. Because if your black ass went over there saying free Palestine, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to get sent to that slave camp. They don't care if you're American. You are dark skinned. They're going to sell your ass into fucking slavery, if not kill you. And it's the same thing with these LGBTQ. And we free Palestine, and then they go and bless that woman's soul. But I'm just saying it to get the point across, right? They raped that woman and they killed her. But these people in America are so stupid. Free Palestine, help Hamas. No, they want to kill you.
They think compliance is going to save them and protect them. They really do.
Like, this is just crazy.
Yeah, the Jewish people did the same thing in Germany. Oh, that's not going to happen here. Oh, no, we're doctors and lawyers, and no, this is not going to happen to us here. And I hear the same thing from people here. That's not going to happen here. Oh, yes, it is. Because you're not paying attention to it, and you're not seeing what's in front of you. You can't fix what you don't know. I don't want to hear anymore about how beautiful the parks are in New York City, and look at all the music on the streets, and so it's so nice to be here. Go fuck it, excuse me. I'm pissed off.
You know what's real salty about that, even with the New York thing? You know what's even saltier about that? And I was thinking about this. Well, I was thinking about this earlier this evening, right? Like, it just popped in my head, the whole shit what Mondami's doing, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're from New York, so you'll get this. Yeah. How dare you? And these people that roll with him disgrace Seneca Village. I want people that know to sit on that a second. Just sit on and think about that a second. This man is literally disgracing Seneca Village, the way he's treating people of darker skin.
Oh, they don't see
city.
That. No.
I'm just like literally, right? And those of you that don't know about Seneca Village, right? Seneca Village went from, if I remember correctly, 82nd Street to 89th and 7th to 8th, right? Middle class, quote unquote, darkly melanated neighborhood that they leveled, killed people over to build Central Park.
Do you know what years that was?
What year was that? Started. They started building. Oh God, when was that? I want to say 1853, 57, because that's when. I was
going to say, because I've always only known Central Park. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So it was at 1853, something like that. They authorized the literal leveling of that city, but in that context, right, for this man to say the things he said and excluded people, right? Even the Italians that were already in New York City, the Sicilians,
his new map.
All these people.
Look at his new map.
Right.
Yeah, he did a map of New York.
To disgrace Seneca Village like he is, and I'm surprised more people are not upset about just that part.
Yes, so stupid.
And I'm down here in Florida, and I know about it, and that what even makes me more ticked off. But you want to back people like this and put these type of people in office saying you're fighting the good fight against white Christian Republicans, when these motherfuckers will put you in fucking chains faster than any so-called white Republican in this country ever will. And they're doing it to you by chaining you to the city-ran grocery stores, which are still unconstitutional. And I dare someone to fight me on it, because I'll run them from rim rail to rack rail on that one. Like, this is just insanity.
It's unfortunate that human nature is what it is, and people have to have it put in their faces before they see it. unfortunately, New York City is going to have to suffer. Well, right now there's a sign, I think it's in Times Square, and it says, "Thank you, Zohran Mamdani, for being the best real estate agent for the state of Florida." I mean, everybody is up and leaving because they don't even want to live with, they don't even want to go through it. So if nobody's willing to fight, I think the Italians will fight for that city. In fact, I'm quite certain.
Oh, 100%. I mean, damn, let's keep it real. They built it. They built that son of a bitch.
From Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan.
Staten Island. Yeah, all of it. They built
Staten
it.
Island time. And Scott Lebedo, God bless him, he had open heart surgery. He's really like, he's got a big healing to do. And I wonder, maybe he allowed himself to get so upset that he had no idea he was, you know, damaging his own heart. I mean, maybe he had a situation where he had a tendency, but it's kind of scary. We have to protect ourselves, not let ourselves get too upset. We just have to take this in stride to some extent. Be prepared, have food and water, get locked and loaded, and be prepared to just protect yourself. It's the only thing we can do in this moment. One of the things I wanted to bring up in that mode is right now, Taiwan. Taiwan is testing. Obviously, they're closer to the CCP taking hold of their country, as they did to Hong Kong. But we depend on Taiwan as well. And as we know, we're spread so thin these days, I don't know how we could ever be of assistance to Taiwan in the midst of Ukraine and Iran, and protecting ourselves in this country against what is probably going to happen, which is the button and all the cells that are hiding in this country. They're gonna go boom. Taiwan, right now, I believe it's today, it was 8:10, 2 days ago. They did a 30-minute test, part of their urban resilience exercise. They're looking at the island's military drills. They're carrying out telecommunication carriers, local government, hospitals, police, civilian institutions. This year is relatively unusual because it's the first time we have conducted an exercise involving disruption to mobile communications. What's his name? Chang Hua, magistrate, told NTD, a sister media outlet of the Epoch Times. This was an Epoch Times story. They're throttling the speeds of their 4G and 5G so that people can still hopefully get some calls and text messages in terms of a massive disruption. Of course, they don't want a complete blackout, but they're getting people ginned up for the possibilities of I'm going to say what's probably going to happen. Because China is going to get so desperate that they're going to need, you know, Iran is their foot soldiers. So they're losing their foot soldiers in Iran, and the banking system is affecting them directly. Now, when they get desperate, they're going to take Taiwan because we need chips, and we have our banking systems with Taiwan, and it's all connected. Everything is connected to everything right now. Everything is everything. Did Stevie Wonder say that? Who said that? Everything is everything. Maybe it was Marvin. I don't know.
Everything. I'm thinking of a song by Lauryn Hill, but I know someone before her said it too.
It could have been Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Could have been. No? So, I heard that in Arizona, this is kind of interesting because we were talking about the web and all the holes in our internet. Arizona has been paying the hackers ransoms. I mean, we have so many people making money in this country off of all the scams and all the illegalities that have taken place it's just, on most days, I don't even recognize what's going on anymore. And I'm not going to try to figure it out because it's not really for us to figure out. I think the important thing is to stay focused on the mission, pick your lane, and stay there, because we are, did you ever notice when you're looking at your computer or your cell phone, you see this like flickering, almost as if someone's taking a picture of you looking at your phone? Sure, we've all seen that. That flickering, they're getting all your information. They're already in the back of your cell phone and your computer and your routers. They got it all. They have our voter registration. They know exactly who we are, what we buy, what motivates us, what doesn't motivate us. They hear us talking, they see us, everything we do. Flocking cameras, well, that's a whole different discussion. But the data centers, I think what's going to happen with the data centers is, because our internet is so messed up and so nasty, that they're going to slide away in the next few years anyway. What they're doing now is to give us the ability to build the Golden Dome, the Iron Dome, so to speak, from what Israel has, so that we can see missiles that are coming at us and we can intercept them. I want people to understand that it's not just about, oh, they're using up all the water, they're using up all the electricity. Believe me that the administration has this figured out, and they have it down to what we need in this moment to protect us all as best as we can. And when the time comes, that we won't need them anymore. They'll be gone. They'll be just like trashed. Because once we get our quantum protection in order, post-quantum inscription, we won't have these problems anymore. They're not going to have our information. It's all going to stop. It's all going to go away. We're going to become one country. We're going to get all these people that shouldn't be here out of the country eventually. It's going to take some time. Maybe you know more about this, Rod. I've been hearing that the denaturalization process is really intricate once a person has been naturalized. Is that something that we could quickly do, or is that something that's like miserable to do?
It's a tough process, right? Because revoking citizenship requires, I mean, granted, right? There's the laws outlined in the INA. It's outlined in INA. If I remember correctly, it's section 340 of the INA. If I remember, 340, 341, one of those. But the only grounds you could denaturalize someone that's naturalized, right, is, if I remember, concealment of a material fact or willful misrepresentation is one, right? Illegal procurement of such naturalization, right? Or being hiding the fact that you're a member of a totalitarian or terrorist group, or
like Ilmar actually fits this.
Fair enough. And a dishonorable discharge from the military if you had been naturalized because of military service. Those are the technically only ways to do that, right?
So they have to do something criminal.
Right. So now here's the other part, right? Here's the other part, because there is two different denaturalization processes in this, right? There's a civil one and there's a criminal one. A civil denaturalization, there's no statute of limitations, right? But a criminal denaturalization, right, can only occur within 10 years of the naturalization date. Right?
Oh, 10 years. Okay.
Right, for criminal, right? Now, when we talk about, if I remember, and again, I'm spitballing off the top of my head from what when I read from the INA itself, right? It cross reference shepherdizing and other things, right? I'm not going to get into all that intricacy, but for civil denaturalization, the burden of proof has to be clear, convincing, and unequivocal. Period.
Right.
Right. It has to be flat out. With criminal, you just need beyond a reasonable doubt. That's all you need, just beyond a reasonable doubt, just like any other criminal proceeding, right?
Right.
Now,
like marrying your brother and being out there saying, I hate America and I want to kill everybody, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would, right, that would technically, right, that in that case would fall under civil, not criminal, right? Because speech is not criminalized, right? You can't criminalize speech, right? So this would fall under civil denaturalization, right? So, and then in this regard, right, under a civil, let's just say we took Ilhan through civil denaturalization, right?
Right.
She would not be provided a public defender because it's civil, right? If it was a criminal offense, the Sixth Amendment, we'd have to provide a lawyer for her under the Sixth Amendment, right? Now, the consequences, right, is if you had God, I'm trying to think of Foreign Affairs Manual. I think it's like Title VII, right? Under civil denaturalization, right? It's you lose your citizenship, and you return, and you're knocked down to a permanent resident status, right?
Ugh.
Which is a deportable status. It's also a deportable status, right? But if you're criminally denaturalized, you lose your citizenship and you find your ass in jail. And then after your term is up, you're sent to the country of your choice. You got to get about it
in the first place.
I mean,
taxpayers have to pay for prison.
So let's apply this, right? So let's apply this, right?
Yeah.
Abrego Garcia, that whole big deal.
Yeah.
That is a civil denaturalization process. It's not criminal. It's civil, right? This is why they had to find a country to send him to, because he's not going to do time in the United States. So that's why Liberia has said, we will take him, right? That wasn't a criminal process. That was civil denaturalization process.
Right. Well,
it's a lot.
We've got our work cut out for us. Well, that's if we even get to a place where we're doing it right. I mean, when things get tangled up and we're no longer operating, or we're operating as free citizens to do whatever we have to do, things could change swiftly.
Right.
You get my drift. I mean, I think there was a fellow today talking about how we have to form our own posses and help ICE get people out. Like, they can't handle the amount of people that actually have to be taken out of this country. It's a huge job. And we're talking criminals and people that ran into our country illegally that are causing all kinds of trouble here. I mean, this is just the basic. We've got 50 million people here that need to leave. ICE can't do this by themselves. So, you know, everybody's right and everybody's wrong, and we're at a point where, you know, it gets very confusing in terms of saying, well, what can I do? And we're all asking ourselves that. What can I do? I think the time to educate people is coming to a slower issue, because it's time to take more action.
Right.
You know, and we really need to look into that. What was that website that I had given you, where people need to look at where there are openings in their government and uncontested elections, and you can just walk right in and become a mayor. And how come these illegals know how to do that and we don't? You can just walk in and take a seat in the government, in your local government. The empty spaces. Sit down and start doing it right. Anyway.
So, and you're right. So, and we're coming right up on the butt end of this. So, I want to answer your question with something that I say all the time, right, to everyone. The way we stop what is happening in this country is to take, and again, people don't take this the wrong way, but I'm speaking again, those of you that don't know me, I speak from a very, very, very strict minarchist / I guess dark libertarian mindset on this, right? Because our Constitution is written as such, if you read it in the correct vernacular, right? We stop the bullshit we're seeing by staying involved locally. Take your focus off of President Trump, J.D. Vance, and all those people up there. They do not affect your day-to-day life. They absolutely do not. But you know who does? That city council, that county commission, that mayor that can change the way your property is taxed, or take away property, or institute eminent domain on your property if they see fit. Those are the people you need to pay attention to. And those are also the places you need to find yourself running for office for if you see something terribly wrong that nothing's being fixed, right? The only way you stop the madness that's going on in your cities is to run for office or be involved in those city council meetings and be heard loud and proud, and don't be scared of what the outcome is going to be. Because guess what, people? Even here in the free state of Florida, the police officers are escorting people out for speech in city council meetings. That is 100% unacceptable. By no means. And any policeman or police department or police chief that condones it, you should be fired. You should be ousted from office, and you should have your badge and your certification stripped from you. Because, again, speech is not criminalized. You cannot criminalize someone's rights. And when you do that, you do not deserve a badge, ever. Ever, ever, ever in your life, ever. Period. And this is where we need to be. And this is Florida, people. This is Florida I'm talking about. Right?
Yes.
We need to stand up in these places. And we need to be in office. You got a good idea. No one's listening. Run for office and push your idea as part of the platform. You don't need a party. You don't need any of that. Right? Because the local government is for the people. Period. That's why.
I got the website.
Okay.
I got the website.
Let them know what the website is.
tab.us. You punch in where you live, your zip code, and you will get a list of all the open seats across America and in your county. And you can just walk in and say, I want to take this seat. And you can fill out the rest of the time that seat is empty. And then you can choose to run if you want, or if it's uncontested, you just stay there and be a part of it and speak your piece, which that's the way we make changes. That's the way we build up our own communities and states. It happened here in Florida.
Right.
And that's how it happened in Florida.
Yep. 100%.
Yep.
100%. Like we got to get involved locally. The republic, the foundation of the republic is your local municipality. It comes down to your sheriff, right? And I've talked about this a lot, right? And I got about 29 seconds left, so I'm gonna say it like this, right? Your sheriff is the most important person in your county. I don't care how many cities you got in your county. Your sheriff is the most important, because that's the individual the feds have to go through to get permission to operate within the county. He is a constitutional officer, and he is there to make sure federal overreach does not happen. Now, if you have a sheriff that allows federal overreach to happen, guess what you got to do next election? You got to toss his ass out or her ass out if they're not going to stand up to the federal overreach. Period. With that, Ms. Val, thank you. I appreciate you 100%.
You're welcome.
I want to thank everybody in the live chat. I can't see the chat, unfortunately, because the way my screens are set up, there's no chat action, but I know y'all are out there in the streets. I appreciate y'all 125 million %. Those of you that's going to hear this later, I appreciate you for downloading and all that stuff on all the things, the platforms. Make sure you do check us out on torturelibertymedia.com. Also at my pet project, Ninth Amendment Project.org. Make sure you do check out the Patreon, patreon.com /TOLMF. And ultimately, all my people listening on the live airwaves from Ware County and Glenn County and Homer County, Georgia, and out there in good old Utah, Salt Lake County, Joab County, Davis County, Weber County. Appreciate y'all out there too. Until next time, everybody, remember, your experience is yours. Do not ever let anyone tell you that your experience is invalid, because it has formed or shaped the person that you are and your beliefs. So stand on that at all costs and at all times. Until next time, y'all. Good night.